Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, I'm Natalie, and in this channel I share my financial journey with all of you. I am going to be setting up for the month of July. We're halfway through the year and I'm just a few weeks behind on this setup, but I wanted to still share it with you. So today I'm going to be setting up my very simple calendar view as well as my notes section that I typically do, and then we're going to set up the monthly budget as well as the goals and aspirations. So I'm excited. I can't believe the year halfway done, and I'm excited to see what comes to happen in the next 6 months out of the year. So many things have changed in my life in the first half of 2024, so I cannot wait to see what happens in the next few. So if you want to see how I think through my financial planning as well as my aspirations for the month, please keep watching. Okay, so as always, I am not gonna spend too much time on this section. I honestly don't even decorate it anymore. I used to put more effort in it when I used to like write down every single little transaction that I had in these little squares, but really what I use this for right now is to just keep track of my bills. I use the list here as well as the list in my Google Sheets to kind of keep track of when I'm paying things. But I want to, for once, actually set this section up in my notes section and actually close it out as well, because I always freaking forget to share it with you guys. So we're gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna fast forward this and then I'll see you guys when I'm done. Okay, so this is what this looks like. As you can see, I barely have any bills at the beginning of the month other than on the 1st and the 8th. So it makes it super easy for me to remember like the important dates, but this is what it looks like, and I'm hoping that this month I actually remember to close this out, to actually like go over this when I close this out. So I typically keep track of my credit score here, any savings that I'm working towards. I like to like have the progress listed here, and then also the student loans. I typically have that page where I go over where my debt tracker. I actually forgot to go over that in June as well, but I don't think I actually kept track of that, so the numbers are not accurate anymore anyways. So really the main thing that I'm worrying about now and in the next year or two is my student loans, because the home loan that I have, honestly, I'm not going to touch that. That's not something I consider that is important for me right now. And then of course I have my 401k and my Roth IRA, which I typically never share with you guys, but I also don't have a lot in there either. I need to focus on both of those moving forward. And then a few months ago I started writing down my highs and lows for the month. In June, because it's already been a few weeks, I really don't remember what it was, but I'm going to try to make an effort for July to at least have one of each and remember to actually write down whenever I notice anything. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, and now we can get started in my aspirations and goals for the month. So I typically divide up my goals for the month into 3 categories, so growth, personal, and financial. And this month, because I only have really 2 weeks left of the month, I'm not gonna really strive for a ton to do. So in growth, first, I want to continue to read my nonfiction book, and right now that is Still Spare by Prince Harry. So I've been trying to get into reading I had been trying to get into reading some of the other books on my list, but really it wasn't working out. So I figured I should start with probably one of the easiest ones, and then hopefully in the fall I can focus on those more like financial literacy books that I have on my list. So I want to continue to read that book and hopefully be at least like 2/3 of the way done by the time the month ends. I also want to continue to going to the gym once a week and also doing my YouTube videos. I've been doing a little bit better than last month, so I'm hoping that I can continue to work on consistency with that. And then I want to build my Aldi cabinet. So this may seem a little bit weird, and maybe once I build it and once I close my month, you guys can take a quick peek as to what that looks like if I end up building it. But Aldi released this like wine slash coffee bar slash other options cabinet. It's a wine, really. It's a wine cabinet. So I fell in love. I bought it right away. And of course, as soon as I got home with my cabinet, which was like a huge 2 boxes, my mom loved it. And we ended up getting her one. So hard. Like, I think between me and my stepdad, and he's a very handy person, like it took us like 2.5 hours to completely build it. So that's why it's been sitting in my hallway for the last 3.5 months since I've moved in. So I've been dreading building it on my own, and I also don't want to bother anyone or like TaskRabbit it. So my goal for this month is to actually build it. But yeah, that's my 3rd goal for the month, and that's probably the hardest one. For my personal goals, I have to wake up at 6:30, maybe not every day, but every weekday. Last month my goal was 7:30. That didn't work out in terms of like every single day, so I want to aim for the weekdays to be 6:30. And then with that, part B, or like the second goal for my personal goals, is to go to sleep by 10. So obviously they go hand in hand. One can't be done without the other, in my mind at least. I need my 8 hours of sleep or more. And I want to be better. I want to consistently have a better routine and rest, and also wake up earlier so I can tackle my day. And the last personal goal is to finally make a decision on which HR certification program I want to complete, whether that is SHRM or the HRIC, or yeah, HRIC. Whether that is SHRM or the certificate from the HR Institute. Like, I want to make the decision on which of the 2 I want to do, because I feel like as time has progressed since I started my career, the lines there have shifted, and SHRM used to be like the end all be all when I first started, and now I think it's the other way around. So I need to like really take the time to focus on researching which one is best, and also make a decision on what type of program am I going to do. Am I going to go in person for an intensive course? Am I going to go in person for like 4 months, or am I going to do a virtual thing, or am I going to just use the resources and just do it on my own? And then for financial, these pretty much are from last month. So again, I want to start my condo emergency fund. Right now, my goal is to have $2,200 in my emergency fund. And then I also want to take the time to sit down, review my goals, and hopefully like record a video on like what has worked, what has been done, what do I need to like challenge myself more on. I think I need to revamp some of those goals, and also kind of review everything that I was thinking of at the beginning of the year, and see if I'm still aiming for those goals. And then third is, again, from last month, figure out my spending plan. I think my biggest issue once I'm completely out of debt, which consumer debt, I should say, is that I don't have an incentive and I need to like set myself goals to accomplish that. So like when I was making $45,000 a year and like fully broke with a car loan and tons of debt, like I barely had any money left over at the end of the month. So whatever I did have was going towards that. Then I was consumer debt free. Once the pandemic hit, I paid off my car and all of my debt, and then I started aggressively saving for a house like everyone else. And then I aggressively saved until I had several $1,000s and bought my condo, and then decided to rent it out and go back home and move out of state. So like there's been major goals that I've had consistently since 2018 when I first started my financial journey. So I feel like right now, if I don't have clear set goals, I'll probably just have my months look very much like what June looked like, where I'm gonna just not stick to my budgets really because I don't have any consumer debt. All I'm worrying about is paying off my bills, and I pay them all on time. I have money left over every single month, and I'm just not being very mindful of where my money is going. So I want to review that and kind of figure out if I'm going to do a 50-30-20 spending plan moving forward. I need to like sit down and kind of break down what my current month-to-month expenses look like, and then what I would strive to. Like I'm so glad where I'm at right now, but one of my biggest weaknesses right now is my future. Like I don't have the numbers that most people have at my age in terms of like their retirement. Otherwise I won't do it. Just by saying it, I won't send $1,000 a month to a Roth IRA because I've never been used to it and I need to get myself into that habit. That's what I'm aiming for. Hopefully I can manage to accomplish these in the next 2 weeks, and let's just get right into the monthly breakdown. So as you guys know, as always, I am a salaried employee. So I always add a line for that, and I always add a line for miscellaneous. So for my expected salary this month, I'm expecting $6,921 with 26 cents. And as you guys know, if you saw my closeout for the month of June, I am rolling over $800 to this month's budget because I went a little crazy at the beginning of the month in July. So we're just preemptively adding extra money into my thing. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do 800 even. I have 6,921.26 plus 800. That is 7,721 with 26 cents. So for rent, as always, my rent is $1,602 even. Technically my rent is $1,540. But when everything else is added up, it comes out to $1,602. My HOA is $360 with 73 cents. And with my for water, for this month of July, that is $54.28. iCloud is $3. My Nelnet is $202 with 88. My electric is $71.52. My cell phones are $125, and this is for 5 lines through Cricket. And then I have my internet at $49.99 max, because it's not the deal that I had for Black Friday, is $11.28. Car insurance, for some reason this month is just a few dollars less, so $198.69 is what my bill comes out to. And then last month I got a notice that my Spotify family plan was going up, so with taxes and all of that is a total of $22.58. And then again, my Amazon membership is $15.11. My total here in my fixed expenses is $2,717 with 6 cents. Then for my variable expenses, I know that I expanded my categories a few months ago, and that honestly has been so eye-opening. First is groceries, then I have gas and tolls, I have household, I have shopping, I have eat out. I don't know if I need clothing. I'm gonna keep it just in case I buy anything from my trip to Puerto Rico in August, but we'll look into it later. Sinking funds, again, I'm not gonna have any amount here. This is just to keep track of what I'm actually spending my money from these categories that I used to try to save money for. For my variable, I think for groceries, I'm just gonna stick with the $3.50. I think that number works well for me. Sometimes I go over, sometimes I'm under. For gas and tolls, since I'm going to Orlando again, I'm just gonna do $2.50 because I don't know how expensive gas is down there, and it's always at least like 40 cents higher than up here. For household, Prime is in July and it's in the next 2 days. I'm gonna go with 500. I also know that I need to like do a Sam's run, so that's probably gonna be like at least 150 to 200 bucks as well, because I need like tons of like paper products and detergent and things like that. For shopping, again, I already did some damage earlier this month, so let's just go with 700 because that just adds a little wedge into the amount of money that I already spent. For eating out, 350 is what I had thought of, especially because I'm gonna be down there and with my family and friends. Beauty, so this will include my hair appointment, which I already went to at the beginning of the month, and that was a little bit higher than I had estimated. I had thought that it would be around 300 bucks with tip, and it actually ended up being 300 without tip, so I spent like 330. So with that, and because again I've been buying skincare and makeup to replenish the items that I've been like discarding, it's been an expensive month, so I'm also gonna do 700 here, but you know, a third, almost half of it is my hair appointment. I also have clothing, so again I'm not budgeting anything here. 0 for sinking funds, and of course 0 for unbudgeted. Let me see, so 350 plus 250 plus 500 plus 700 plus 350 plus 700, that's 2850. Let's figure out how much money of each I have. So for my income, again, it's 7,721 with 6 cents, 26 cents. For my fixed expenses, I have 2,717 with 6 cents. Variable is 2,850. And let's see. So 72126 minus 2717.02 minus 2850. That leaves me with 2154 with 20 cents. Let's do 600 for the flight, plus all of my needs, plus clothing, plus suitcase fees to and from Orlando. So 600 here. So the plan for the remaining 1554, 20 cents. So let's do emergency fund, my regular emergency fund. Let's do 350. So 350, that's 1200 left over. And then I would love to send a full 500 to my student loans. So I sent 20288. So 500 minus 202.88, that would be 297.12 for my student loans. So 1554.20 minus 350 minus 297.12, that's 907 left over. So that would leave me with condo EF. So 900 towards my condo emergency fund. That actually leaves me with a rollover of $7.08. So that's great. So for debt, I'm gonna do 297.12. So student loans. Oh, I should have written that smaller. And I should have written it here. And then for savings is 900 plus 350. So 1250, that is 702.08 remaining in my balance. Yeah, I know this is always a super long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I try to be as concise as possible, but sometimes I go on tangents, and 9 times out of 10 I cut them from the video because I don't want these videos to be 45 minutes long, but that's how long I probably end up talking. And that's without counting all the times I mess up whatever I'm saying. So next up, I'm gonna set up paycheck number 1. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a great one. Bye.